Appreciate Commanders team president Jason Wright talking with us here for a few minutes at the league meetings. Obviously, this is an eventful time. So much speculation about what's happening. How are the meetings for you? What happened?
I mean, it's pretty par for the course here. And I knew that would be the case. There's obviously a sale process going on in the background that is of the utmost interest to everybody back home and people around the league. But the topic here was all the stuff that matters day to day. It's what's happening with the salary cap going forward, thinking about things that are challenging for the league overall, and dead money and contracts, and how does that mesh with the growth of the salary cap, and how do we manage that as organizations? For us on the business side, accelerating ticket sales, especially for us, to fill our stadium and have home field advantage. It's all the basic blocking and tackling to run a successful franchise, and these league meetings are always great because it's a time for information sharing and best practice sharing. So it was a bunch of that, per usual. And of course, a lot of people had a lot of questions with what's going on with us, but the less that we can talk about it and the more that we can just do it, the better.
Sure. A lot of people back home have a lot of questions about the sale. Two major reports, both from Adam Schefter. I don't think we have to question the bona fides of the reporting here, that Josh Harris-led group has gotten to $6 billion, and that a Steve Apostolopoulos-led group have gotten to $6 billion, and that is Dan's preferred number to sell. How do you view those reports?
I just want it to be done. And I think that's what everybody else would like too, including Dan and Tanya. I think this is a process that when there are speculative reports, they tend to slow down the process because every public report, everything that's written in a heavy due diligence phase of a transaction like this cause people to do more diligence or request more information. And so while I think it's interesting for people to report some of these things, I wish they didn't, because then those folks who are bidding, if it's those folks, right, those folks who are bidding and the family office as they run this can just move without restrictions and with less hiccups.
What steps remain in the sale process?
I don't know. I'm probably closer to it than anyone else in the organization, and I'm still arm's length, and that's a good thing. They should be running it. It's their investment. My job is to provide information, help these bidders understand the business, be candid with them about the state of the business, our talent, and where we need to go, be open about the needs for investment across the business so that they know what they're getting into, and that's something that I can do well, and then the rest of it, we'll see where it goes.
Have you talked with both the Harris Group and the Apostolopoulos Group?
I am not going to share any more details about what I've done in the process, because that would be overstepping what I committed to all the groups, both the bidders and to the family office.
Totally fair. Is there something you want in the next owner? Like, what's your kind of ideal scenario?
You know, I think all the folks that I've met embody a common set of qualities that I think will make for a great owner of this team. One is thinking of it as a community asset, that the franchise is more than a business, that it is more than a sports team, that it's actually something that has the power to impact the psyche and the goodwill of our area. And our area has the power to impact the world. And so I think every single person sees this as a crown jewel asset for that reason. And that's something that aligns with me as well. So I think that's one. And then on the flip side of that, they're business people. And they're looking at the P&L. They want to understand how the dollars make sense. And I like that. I like the analytic rigor. I like the thinking people have brought to it. For the fans, I think any of the folks that at least I've met in the process would make for wonderful leaders of the team.
And going forward, Ron talked about that the football operations side is kind of at a pause moment because of the sensitivity of the sale and perhaps how far along that is. Where are you on a business side? Can you move forward with stadium stuff, partnerships, all the things you have to juggle?
Yeah, I think at this stage of something, you can't make big major decisions. Like we can't pick a stadium site, But I'm gonna run the business. We're gonna make decisions on pricing.
What site do you want?
Oh my goodness! See, did you see? You almost got me. I'm tired, man. You picking on me? I'm tired.
Gene would have come out and hit me, I think.
Well, I really like. I wonder what shape my mouth made. That would actually be interesting. That would be interesting.
But day to day, it's relatively normal for you?
Yeah, it is. It's relatively normal. Actually, I shouldn't say that. No, it's not relatively normal because this is a franchise trajectory changing moment. So no, it's not normal. But we are conducting business as normal because we need to, and we still have good momentum on the business. You know, we have grown the season ticket member base substantially, and we were at a really bad point when we got here. It's a lot better. It still needs to get a lot better. So we can do that core work. We haven't maxed out yet. Then on the other side of this, there should be some momentum behind us that allows us to make that progress more quickly. So we're sort of gearing up to do that. And there's some roles I need to fill and some things like that that are major decisions that I need to wait on. But as soon as I can, we're going to roll.
Last-ish one from me, and I'm going to switch out of the sale. And I want to ask you just a league-wide question because you have a unique perspective as a former player and now as a team executive. The Lamar situation is, if it's commander sale, Lamar's the only other topic people seem to care about out here. Ron and Martin both made clear that Lamar's not in the cards for Washington. They're ready to go with Sam, ready to go with Jacoby. What do you make of what appears to be a lack of interest in Lamar Jackson league-wide?
I can't imagine that there's a lack of interest in him. I mean, the man's an electric talent. He's been game-changing for that franchise that has won perennially year after year. So, I'm sure there are lots of reasons that folks strategically might not be pursuing him, whether it's the idea of how they want to construct the roster, where they want spin to be, various things. But, I'm not on the football side, but I think Lamar is pretty interesting.
As a former Union guy, player, guaranteed contracts. And is that a weird world for you now that you're on the management side?
No, not at all. I know my role, and I trust Ron in them. Like, so that's the thing. Just the fact that I played and spent time, you should take my opinion with a grain of salt. Take it like a fan, because I'm not spending every day in it.
Well, I mean more guaranteed contract, like fully guaranteed deals for quarterbacks, like just league-wide.
Got it. That's a whole nother ball of wax. I think the NFL has done agents and players have done a good job over the years of, I think, getting fair market value for their guys. So I always give kudos to a player who's going to go for their worth. I would never stunt that. But I also believe in the free market. And the free market is going to dictate what ultimately happens. And that's what will happen.
That's what we're seeing. Jason, thank you for the time. I know you've been busy and appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.